are you speaking the language in Vietnamese? No, I can't speak Vietnamese. I only know one word. No, I know a couple, but I know one word really well. You want to know that word? Toma. That's that's it. Toma, toma. That's the one that I could really say really good. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was fighting these motherfuckers, that's what they used to say. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. Let me tell you a story I had. Yo, when I was a teenager, I think I was like 16, right? Um, I was 16 years old. I was in this gang called the Ghost Shadows. I don't know if y'all heard of it, but I was in this gang, this Chinese gang called the Ghost Shadows, right? And at that point in my life, I just wanted to be accepted, right? I didn't really have a father, or he left, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a big brother, you know, I was the only child. I really didn't have a lot of like older heads around me to like, you know, I was just running wild by myself type shit. So I never really felt accepted. And when I went to when I went to juvenile jails, I was like the only Chinese kid there, only Asian kid there. And I was always being teased and shit. I always had to fight. So I don't know. It created this part of me that just wanted to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? So when I joined this gang, I felt like this gang was a place, well, at least they presented to me like that. Like I could be accepted here. I wasn't looked at as like different here. You know what I mean? I was one of the same. And all I had to do was just do what I was doing, what I learned in juvenile detention. All I had to do was be violent and they would accept me. And that made me feel, oh, I could do violence. You feel me? Like I could do violence. Like, okay, so this is what's gonna make me accepted. I'm gonna just be super violent. And then I just looked in the like, cause we back in the days they had a gang apartment, and there was like all these young kids there that they recruited. They used to recruit kids from junior high school and shit. That's how I got recruited. They found me right from junior high school and brought me to these gang apartments. So when I was in that gang apartment, I looked around and I looked at all these kids that was there, and I was the only kid that was in juvenile detention centers like that. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at all these kids. I'm like, none of these kids is gonna be more violent than me. Like that's a fact. None of these kids is gonna be more violent than me. I could just look in their face because I just came from Spofford, bro, fighting every day, bro. Big motherfuckers. I was a little skinny boy, like you know what I'm saying, and I had to fight big motherfuckers. Like, you know what I mean? There's no way this motherfucker is 15 years old, bro. This motherfucker look like he's 19. He in here with us in Spofford. What the I had to fight that motherfucker, or else I'm not gonna be eating my cookies. I ain't gonna be eating my food. I'm gonna be sleeping. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have to fight. So when I looked around the apartment and I seen all these little kids, I'm like, man, these kids ain't gonna be more violent than me. So I vowed to myself, I'm gonna be super violent. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be the first. What anybody say anything violent, I'm raising my hand. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? I hold the gun. You need somebody to shoot the gun. I'm shooting it. I do all the dirty work. I'm down for all of that shit. And then in my mind, and I didn't even think about the repercussions. You know what I'm saying? Because the gang pitched it to me like, oh, you underage, so you good. Like you're just gonna slap you on your wrist. You ain't gonna get in trouble. So you can hold the gun. Yeah, hold the gun. You can shoot the gun. Yeah, shoot the gun. You could do whatever. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm with the shits. And I looked at these people like my big brothers. I looked at these people like family, like, you know what I'm saying? Like people that I could trust, people that will guide me the right way. That's what I thought, you know what I'm saying? But in actuality, they weren't people that I could trust. They weren't the people that were guiding me the right way. In fact, they was just trying to use my fucking my shit, you know what I'm saying, to like better their shit. And really they didn't give a fuck about where I was gonna go. They didn't give a fuck about what it was gonna do to me mentally. They didn't give a fuck about what it was gonna do to me physically, or, you know, land me in jail and fuck up my whole fucking child. They didn't give a fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Or else they wouldn't have me doing that shit. But I raised my hand for all of that shit. And one time, right, there was one of the so what happens is when there's a big group of people, right? They would tell the younger dudes, here, you hold this gun and you cross the street. So let's say there's like a bunch of, you know, gang members and they're older or whatever, they'll have two or three younger dudes cross the street and act like we're not with that group and we have the guns and we be across the street. So when the police run down on the group, we're across the street, they ain't really gonna fuck with us type shit. So this particular day, you know what I mean? They gave me the gun and like I crossed the street. So I'm crossing the street and then one of the Dialos, which is like the big brother, which is one of the bosses, you know what I'm saying? And he was, I wanted his attention. I wanted his acceptance so bad because he was like the man. He used to pay for everything. He used to like, so he was like my big brother. Like, and I would do anything to make him feel like to accept me. I would do anything. I'll kill somebody. I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck. They gave me the gun. I'll shoot 5, 10, 15 motherfuckers just so I could get that acceptance from this man. You know what I'm saying? And it was so crazy. That just makes me think like, damn, like motherfuckers need fathers in their lives because that was just me not having a father in my life. And I just wanted to do some dumb shit just so I could be accepted. And to the honest, the truth, that I don't even know who that motherfucker is anymore. He don't never check for me. I did a bunch of time after that. He ain't never checked for me. He ain't never sent me a postcard. He ain't never sent me shit. So I don't even know why, like, you know what I'm saying? In retrospect, when I look at it, but when I think about it, I was going crazy. I was ready to hand my life for this person. You know what I mean? And just because, not because I was like per se loyal to him, but just because I had a void in me that I thought that he could, help me fill. You feel me? So, oh man, so this dude, so the group was across the street and I was across the street, right? And then what happened was they was coming out of like a restaurant and shit. So we was across the street and fucking uh uh the Vietnamese, a couple Vietnamese dudes, they was also in this place. So we wasn't on our street. We wasn't on our block. We was in a whole nother place. But there was Vietnamese dudes in this place. It was like a restaurant, but it was a bar at night. After 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock, they closed the restaurant. And now it turns into like a lounge or a bar and shit. And there was people in there. But little did we know there was Vietnamese people in there. And a fight broke out when they got there. You know what I'm saying? A fight broke out when they got there. And um wow, I don't even know. Can I say this? Can I talk about this? This was actually, yeah, I could talk about this because this was like fucking 25, 30 years ago. Ain't nobody died, so whatever. Um, so I seen I was standing across the street. They just told me to stand across the street and wait and see what's up. So I seen a commotion happen, right? So I'm like, and there was another dude there. He was older than me. He was like, "Stay there, don't move." I was about to run across the street, but he was like, "Stay right there, don't move yet." So boom, we seen a commotion. It was a fight, and then like as it started trickling out of the restaurant or the lounge or whatever, you know what I mean? I saw that it was us. It was like my people, the people that was with my gang that was getting into it. You know what I'm saying? And fucking it spilled across the street. And then I seen it was like these little ass short dudes, and they was wilding, like they was wilding the fuck out. You feel me? So so the dude was telling me, and these was the Vietnamese dudes. So this dude was telling me, no, don't move yet, don't move yet. I didn't even listen to him. Once I seen like the dude trying to fucking, he had like a thing in his hand. It was like a half a bottle. The shit was cracked open already, and it had like whatever, and he was like swinging that shit at my ball, at the dude that I looked up to, that I would do anything for. He was swinging on him. He cut his face and all that, and the guy was bloody and all that. Bro, I ran across the street when the dude told me not to because he knew I had the gun and he knew that I was going. So I just started firing. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't even know how to aim, bro. I'm just like, God, boom, boom, boom. I shot the glass. I shot this. I shot everything except for who I was supposed to shoot. I almost shot the motherfucker, the boss motherfucker. I almost shot his ass. He said he heard the bullet whiz past his fucking head. I ain't hit him, but I'm like, bow, 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 bow. Yo, I was wilding the fuck out. And I remember the Vietnamese dude, they looked me dead in my, like, it it wasn't like we didn't have a lot of time, but before they started taking off running, this motherfucker looked at me dead in my shit with this like intense ass stare, and then they started booking, and I'm shooting, bow, 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 bow. To the point, one of them motherfuckers had to grab me. One of my game members, they grabbed me like, no, get the fuck out of here. Boom. So we had to leave. You know what I'm saying? We left, jumped up in whatever. We breezed back and left, whatever. But after that, that was one of the first times they was like, yo, this motherfucker crazy. You know what I'm saying? They was like, this motherfucker crazy. And that's how I started getting my respect. You know what I'm saying? After that shit, they started respecting me, you know what I mean, a little bit more, because they seen that I came to the rescue of the die low, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was that was that was a little story